Hello YouTubers, Brandon here from Caveman 405. I want to do a quick video today of the Harbor Freight 6 foot by 8 foot greenhouse. As most of you know, you can pick this up at Harbor Freight for $219 plus taxes if you use the Harbor Freight coupon. I went and did it and I love it. It's a great greenhouse, great starter greenhouse. I'm going to use it primarily for starting seeds and growing in the wintertime, smaller plants. So I'm just going to kind of walk you through what I've done so far to this point. I've added some solar ventilation to it, 12 volt off of another Harbor Freight solar panel kit. I'll do a video about that later on, but for now I'll just walk you through the greenhouse part of it itself. As far as assembly, this thing was pretty easy to put up. Two people can put it up in a few hours. Get the frame together, get all the paneling on, and get it set up and ready to go. After that, doing the shelving or whatever you decide to do, you're going to spend more hours doing that. I chose a 2 foot, or a 2 by 6 foundation for it, and I stood them up vertical. The height of the greenhouse is not very tall, so I needed to elevate it. I didn't want a big elevation, so I put it on 2 by 6s, which is perfect for me, and it gives me plenty of head space in here to move around and do what I need to do. And that was simple around the outside, and I'll show you, as some of you know from other videos on YouTube, it has an aluminum frame at the bottom, and what I've done is put some 1¼ inch washers on the screws, several of them on the foundation all the way around, to anchor it to the 2x4s, and it made the frame of the greenhouse perfect fit for me. After I did that, I put a 15-inch screw-in spike, tat iron spike that I picked up at Lowe's, on one side with a bolt going into it, and then on the back side I have put another screw-in spike with a bolt going into the greenhouse. And this thing is more than solid, it won't move. Here in Oklahoma, we get a lot of wind and storms and tornadoes and everything else, but I put it on the back porch, and so I'm blocked by the house, and I'm blocked by my shop in the back, and I'm blocked by a tree line on both sides, so I don't think it'll go anywhere. Also, for structure, on the inside I've come in and I've put 2x4 construction all the way around it. I've stood up vertical 2x4s in all four corners and on the doorway frame, and attached wood shelving to all of it. And then I took self-tapping screws on the outside and screwed straight into the framing on the inside. And this thing is solid, it will not move. The weight of the 2x4s, the shelving, all the dirt and everything is supporting the greenhouse in place. And as far as the shelving, I spent about $45 on 2x4s. The rest, all the slats that are on top of all 6 shelves, I got free off Craigslist from the free stuff section, and I cut them all down to 2-inch wide slats, and I put a 1-inch spacer in between every one of them to allow sunlight and water to drain through. And then I treated all the lumber with Thompson's water seal to protect it. Now on both sides, for me, the way I set mine up, I did a 12-inch top shelf on both sides so I could keep seedling trays and small things out of the way. And then for the middle shelf and the 2 bottom shelves on each side, I did them at 23 inches. And I also did that because I wanted this 2x4 to be in the door frame. As some of you have seen on other YouTube videos, the door frame on these greenhouses this frame on this side bows in and doesn't make a good seal on this rubber connector of the door. So by putting this 2x4 here and anchoring it to it, this part of the frame is secure and it's vertical. Now when I shut the door, I get a great seal on this rubber stripping, weather stripping, to the frame, and seals it up really nicely. Other than that, I have installed a 12-volt exhaust fan. I got this off Amazon. I'll put the link below so you can check it out if you want. it was like $26, $27, and it opens and closes, and has a fan in it. And then I added a thermostat switch, which I'll put the link on it in the bottom column too, so you can check it out. This switch is preset at 100 degrees, so automatically when it gets 100 degrees in here, the fan kicks on and takes out the hot air and keeps the temperature regulated. And then in the wintertime, I'm going to have a 1,000-watt heater down at the bottom to keep heat so I can grow year round. To operate the fan and the thermal switch, I have a Harbor Freight 1.5 watt solar panel mounted on the outside. So when the sun comes up and it's activated, but the fan isn't activated until my temperature switch hits 100, and then it turns the fan on automatically, runs off the sun, and shoots the heat out. I also went around the outside and secured the panels with some self-tapping screws. I put one in the middle of every one at the bottom and one in the middle of every one at the top. And for the most part, they're solid. They don't flap around like they would if you didn't put a self-tapping screw. So overall, this is the greenhouse. I wanted to show you what my thought process was and what I was doing. If it helps anybody else out. If you want a cut list or anything that information from me, please let me know in the comments below, and I'll get you what you need. Thanks.